What's up folks, Man10 here. Today we're going to talk about the RetroUsb AVS, which is a Nintendo that's able to play your games on an HD TV with HDMI and 720p, and it also has some other interesting features along with it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out and let you know what's in the box, and also give you a demo of a couple games side by side. I do have a capture card for my old Nintendo, one of the easy caps for composite, just to show you guys the difference, and I'll use the same game on both sides. And here we go. Here's what the console looks like. You have 4 controller ports in the front, power, reset, and I like to say these buttons are modeled very much like the original console. Inside, games go straight in this way like they used to. You don't have to press them down. Right there is the Famicom port. You do need another cable to run Famicom games. Goes right here. You have to get that from RetroUsb. It doesn't come in this package. You have HDMI and you have the power cable. Power cable looks just like your average cell phone connector. It even breaks away. You can put this right into your computer and power the console. You don't need to put it into like a wall outlet, and it comes with a standard HDMI cable. Also with the USB, you can update the firmware via your computer with this cable by plugging it straight in, and also submit scores to nintendoh.com right from the console itself. So here, clearly start card is to start the game. Scoreboard is what you use to upload your scores to the web and update the firmware. Video options, we have NTSC and PAL. Pixel aspect, that is to either go widescreen, or you can even go thinner. Some people, when they buy this machine, they're going to want to play with their whole 16.9 HD widescreen TV. I personally cannot stand for the pixels to be stretched, so we're going to go back to normal. Vertical border doesn't stretch the pixels, it literally just gives you more room on top and bottom, so we're going to put that all the way down. Scan lines gives you the retro look. You can see it actually happens here a little bit, but we're going to take those off because I want it to look very pretty. Left side hide, apparently there's like some kind of garble on the left side of some games that most CRTs couldn't see. We're going to leave that hidden so we don't see that. Extra sprites I find really interesting. I haven't tested it yet. We're going to test it during this review. Some games have a lot of flicker, and extra sprites actually goes over the limit of what a regular Nintendo can do to remove that flicker. Now apparently it breaks some games because some games rely on that flicker to actually work. So we're going to try it with Super Contra, see if it makes the spread gun look any better, because that's a big flicker thing. Volume increases the volume of certain channels. In the palettes, this is actually something I just updated the firmware before I started, and it gives you different palettes to choose from, but we're just going to stick with the original palette. Here you have some different input options. Menu buttons is what you hold to get back to the menu, so right now it's actually select A and B. To toggle cheats on and off is start A and B right now, and this can all be changed, by the way. Expansion emulation, I believe that's for carts with certain audio chips and stuff, like the Famicom carts. Castlevania 3 has like a separate audio chip that sounds really good. I'm pretty sure that's what that's for. You can toggle turbo A and B. Autoplay, I'm sorry, I don't know what that is right now. That might actually play the game for you, might not, I have no clue. And then the 4-score Pro, which is just to activate the 4-player mode in the front. And you can see all the buttons on the bottom are moving around, just to make sure that my controller works. So, I'm actually going to give you guys a little video preview of a couple games, but first we're going to start with a side-by-side of the one and only Milon Secret Castle. Just so happens I have 2 copies of this piece of shit, so I'll be able to do it both at the same time. My bad, one thing I forgot to show you was the Game Genie. Right now I have Super Contra in the AVS, and you can see it actually automatically gives me Game Genie codes that I can choose to just start the game with, so I thought that was pretty cool. So here we have a comparison of the NES and the AVS. You immediately notice the AVS's colors and text are much sharper and more vibrant. Not to say the NES looks bad. I mean, I've been streaming and recording with that capture card for a long time with the Easy Cap, and it definitely gets the job done well, but there is a big difference. And I have some larger scenes set up so you can see the difference between the NES and then this right here, which is the AVS. It's very, very, very clean looking. It is to note that on the AVS I had to bring the aspect ratio down 1 to get it to match the size of the original, and I'm not sure if I had it 1 further than it should be, so it was a little bit wider, but either way I did take it down 1. I wish I could default the system. I don't know how to do that yet, but at some point, I'll figure that out. But it does look really good. This isn't screenshots and they aren't videos that I made. I do have them both hooked up right now at the same time. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the game itself and take a look at some different screens. So if I pause it, what I can do is show you outside the castle and show you the difference in the quality of like his sprite. You can see it's kind of grainy, and here it's really sharp. It looks real good. So we're gonna go ahead and move into the castle. I think there's a little bit more going on in there, so it'd be a little bit easier to show you. And his sprite's a little bit bigger inside the castle. Oh look, the enemy is almost in the same exact place too. Perfect. So here's what it looks like on the NES. Like I said, it doesn't look terrible, man. I'm not bashing it. I think it looks great still. But this is a major improvement of what the NES can output, at least like the NES cartridge, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and start the game. I'm gonna get a little bit of motion going so we can kind of see what it looks like. That's that right there, and I'm gonna hit the button. I have to keep shooting or else I will die. And this is what the NES looks like. I'm also gonna show you a couple other games too. I'll do some comparisons between both consoles. I think I'm gonna try like Batman and Contra and stuff. So we'll definitely get into that next and see how they look. So right now what I'm going to be showing you is a little bit of the scoreboard app that they have and kind of how it works. I did register for the website, but they have to review your account first, so I can't upload a score during this video, but I'll show you how the timer works and how it syncs up. So I just turned it on. Here we're at the main menu. You see the scoreboard is not lit up at all. If I run the app on my computer, it immediately turns to a 42. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to capture the app itself so that you can see a little bit of what it looks like. So this is what the scoreboard app actually looks like. It has a timer on the bottom. Console details is green. It is synced up, but you see the login details is not because I can't log in from my computer just yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click in this option here. I can actually view a friends list. I'm assuming that I have on NintendoAge.com. Play a game first. That's telling me to play the game before I come back to this. And when I come back after I play, I believe there's going to be a share button. I don't know how that works yet, but I will show you that the timer does start when I start playing. So I pressed A, timer immediately started. I think it's kind of cool, man. If you're going to be doing your own speed runs and stuff, I think it's cool that the timer starts there with you. And you can kind of start playing the game. I'm going to just get a couple points, and then I'm going to die. Okay, so now that I'm dead, I'm going to go back and see what it says. Shortcut to get back to the menu is select A and B. And I can submit the score right then and there. It's kind of badass. So that'll be the end of my review, guys. If you have any questions, I'll do my absolute best to get you some answers. I don't know all the technical specs of this machine. I have read them online, but I'm not able to recite them off the top of my head. There were 2 games that I wanted to capture and do the comparisons on, which I couldn't get to work. One was Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers. The other, Blaster Master. Makes me really upset because these games are both really colorful, and it's kind of a shame that I have 2 working Milon Secret Castles, and these I couldn't get to work on my NES or my AVS at all, so they must just have some really bad connectors on them, and I even cleaned them and I couldn't get them to work. So I'm sorry about that. Again, thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure for me to make these videos for you folks out there and do reviews. I haven't been doing too many in a while. I actually been really busy and I got a baby on the way, so I will be getting back into it, probably with some VR stuff later. I do have an Oculus Rift. But again, thanks for watching. Make sure you stay tuned to Hit Points Gaming for all your board games and gaming needs. We put out some stuff like doing reviews of Steam games, old stuff, new stuff, and everything. So take it easy, and thanks again.